James Wynne joins us, Vice President Digital Sales for SuperTalk. And James, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Paul. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. We're not going across the pond, if you'll
Sounds
bear
like we
with us
did.
as far as the accent. Yes. Yes. Look,
Yes,
this
I'm
is a
coming
kind of
all the way. Coming all the way
ahead.
from London, England this morning.
Yeah.
By way of Gulfport, Mississippi.
Well, it's a lot prettier than the fog in. How did you find your way here to the state of Mississippi?
My
Took a left
aunt,
at Greenland.
correct. Yes, I'm
Yes.
south from
No,
New
go
York.
ahead.
We immigrated when I was a teenager. Had a aunt that retired Air Force, married an Air Force fellow in the 50s, and this was my dad's favorite place to be on the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
How about that? How about that? Well, how long have you been part of through the acquisition part of it? Because I think this is something that you've been doing for a while now, but it is a major addition to our services as SuperTalk and TeleSouth Media. Tell me a little bit, explain to the audience exactly what the services are, and just take it from there, James.
Well, I've been in the media business for 30 years. I had worked for a large media company, and as over the years, as media's changed, we've moved and adapted. All of us have to new technologies, and with the digital age and the mobile age of search and platforms that you use with streaming devices, SuperTalk, Mississippi Media, and Steve Davenport invested a tremendous amount of money in building his media company to make sure that advertisers and content is able to cross platforms. And so we're delivering right now where you and I are streaming on SuperTalk TV and on many devices, on C-Spy television, streaming television, and we're able to cross devices. So we help our customers connect those dots and have a digital imprint for the smallest of companies to the biggest of Mississippi companies.
I think one of the things that this company has done that is just absolutely amazing is not consider things competition, but brought them in, and whether it's television, whether it's digital and everything else. And when you start looking at the numbers, and I'm always just blown away because I'll get some of the numbers on a weekly or monthly basis, and will send us some things. Radio itself. Radio is just so powerful, the most powerful. It just exceeds numbers. And some people won't believe this, but it does. It exceeds numbers from the internet, from television, from Facebook, everything else. So when you combine that with digital, it is a happy marriage. And the company's just done an incredible job. You can speak to that, James. Your thoughts?
I'll speak to it specifically to one of your customers, the Jumpstart ACT prep classes. So as the radio being the biggest voice in the platforms for branding, as the data shows, you're able to look into an influencer like yourself that talks to products and talks to marketing that moves the needle. When we look into the data, we were able to see those web hits on the back end of the client search. So we're able to see his business move throughout that digital space. Yeah. So when I looked back at this particular client, I got to look into your promotion of the product and see actual hits to his website and how you move the needle.
That's amazing, because in the old days we had to rely on the media people like Arbitron or Nielsen on television. We can get instant feedback. We know where they're coming from. We know a lot more about this because in some ways we gathered data just like everybody else. But the other thing that is amazing for people who may buy both radio and they want the internet also is what you guys can do. We broadcast. A shotgun broadcasts a 22 as a laser. and we broadcast, so we hit everything out there. But I mean, you guys are able to laser in from one business across the street from another business, and it's absolutely amazing how defined you can get. And we have that power now at SuperTalk Media. Speak to that.
Yes, we do. Within 2.5 inches of a location, we can build data fences around your studios right now and collect data devices, all of your devices connecting to towers across the state, across the nation. So you can pick up data points and you can collect that data, third-party data, and you can market to those devices in real time, or say that you were at the Mississippi State Ole Miss game, you can go back 6 months because of the collection of data stored. So if I wanted to market to the Rebel Nation and talk to and serve, our Sugar Bowl championships, what should have been our Sugar Bowl championship T-shirts, we would be able to go back in time and collect those devices to our most interesting parties, the lowest of hanging fruit.
Yeah. Would you say that for businesses that may not even have a budget for radio, it is cost effective for very, very small businesses or start out businesses to go that route?
Absolutely. Very, very small budgets. It's very important, much like the days of printing the phone books. It was important because you have to have your correct information on the internet. You want to make sure your phone number is correct, the time your business is open is correct, and very small dollars to fix that. Google and these search engines, you have to make sure across those platforms your information is correct. And we're a company that fixes digital imprints for the biggest to the smallest. We have something that relates to all companies across the state.
That is so fascinating to me because of years when talking about marketing, and my life in broadcast has been combined with both. I just find it so fascinating, and I'm kind of sorry that I missed this period of technology, because to get that instant feedback, we get feedback here, and it's so important, but to be able to get that instant feedback the way you guys do it, and be able to maximize that, because in the contrary, you can find out what's not working and change it. And to be able to do that with a radio campaign and say, here's what's working, here's not what's not. Because if there's something that's really working and something is not, we don't have to wait till the sale's over 3 months down the line, come back and say, well, would you like to renew? We can hit you right away. It's advertising on steroids. And I'm fascinated.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. When you're deploying for companies like the Mississippi Aquarium in Tupelo, into Jackson, and you're marketing, whether it be a new tag for them or dolphin excursions, we're absolutely able to gauge involvement throughout each of those markets for each of those deployed campaigns.
We've got a break coming up here. I want to ask you this, though, if you can give us a couple of examples how you've customized this, if you do have an example of that. More with James Wynne. James is with SuperTalk Mississippi Media Digital, and all the information is there on the website. And if you haven't contacted us about that, wrap it all in and let us put everything to use, even the TV portion of it, and you will be amazed at what happens. More with James' website. And I failed to mention, James, that same service in another thing we have is the SuperTalk FM News, which is on all of our SuperTalk stations that you hear. Not only that, other TeleSouth media that's not a part of TeleSouth, or not a part of SuperTalk, as well as other affiliated stations. So that's pretty widespread across the state. But if give us an example that the crews, and again, this is available, we'll talk about that in a moment or two, throughout the state as far as sales, advertising executives to help you out. But do you have any examples at all?
Of particular campaigns, so many.
Yeah.
So whether there's it's like being a kid in a candy store. It's Christmas every day when you're in this platform. It's so exciting. When you're helping the smallest local Mississippi company go nationwide, if they want us to sell mosquito tubes and keep mosquitoes off you, a Spartan mosquito across Dallas and Houston and whatever area you are in the United States, Mississippi companies now are nation and worldwide.
Yeah,
that's the digital imprint that we are able to provide our customers.
How does this work? Because I know, and I've just had little minute conversations because I was not involved in this, and it's so large that it just takes a long time to get it done. But there's a lot that goes into this with different partnerships, with different equipment, very, very sophisticated software, training of all of our staff across the state. Speak to that if you could, James Wynne, our digital
partnership.
Go ahead, sir.
Partnerships with multi-platforms, the social media platforms, Facebooks, Instagrams, Snapchats, engaging our customers where they are every day, whether it be the streaming Roku, Fire Stick, Slings. We partner with multi platforms, and to bring audiences in specific defined areas, whether we're in Macomb, Mississippi, Brookhaven to Oxford, delivering specific areas in defined areas or mass amounts of deployments across the nation. It truly comes down to you mentioned laser focus. It truly is. We can go down to the smallest of areas to the largest of areas with deployments.
One of the difficult things to do, and I've been doing this for decades here, but when you first find out that you have a network, this is before the days of SuperTalk, and you're selling network news, the number one thing was, how do you quantify the need? Because you didn't have, if it was a banking chain that happens to be just in several places, you couldn't quantify the need for the entire state as far as network advertising. Now it's a totally different animal, which the quantification is not even necessary. So if you have, let's just say, a nationally known, let's say Rolling Stones are going to play in any part of the state of Mississippi, and they want either the network, which means all of our SuperTalk stations, and they just buy one network spot, or if they want to just concentrate just on the Jackson market or the Gulf Coast market, they can do that. How do you interface that with the digital part of it?
Folks are looking for Rolling Stones, want to see Mick Jagger. They get on their devices. What do? We voice search. We type in tickets to the Rolling Stones, and through that search keywords, Rolling Stones, our technology picks up those, and we serve ads. Hey, Rolling Stones coming to Jackson. They're going to be rocking out, and some of it gets a lot deeper into the weeds. We could talk absolutely for 6 hours, and I'd love to, but truly for our customers, it really goes through personal discovery of who their customer is. Each and every advertiser is so unique with their own imprint and their own business strategy that for us to know their needs, and we do that through our discovery and conversations. We have amazing relationships, and we can specifically define an audience for them and show measurable results, the most important thing for them.
I've talked to several of the people who are, our family members as far as salespeople here for a long time, the advertising executives, and there were those who were, well, I don't know if this is something beyond me, but that's only a few. The vast number of them who've been in some of the training sessions are just excited about the opportunity for expansion and the opportunity to increase the what they can do for the client. So my understanding is just about everybody in the entire state, all of our different SuperTalk stations, are able to do this.
Absolutely. We have an incredible team, but when you first get that computer and turning it on for the very first time, going, how does it work? And as you navigate through the buttons and everything starts coming to you, you're like, wow, I can go anywhere. I can find my new tennis shoes at Academy. And so it was a learning process, but all all of our team members have this excitement because now they're bringing more revenue to their customers. And that's what really empowers you when you can show actual connections from deployed ads from, say, on your mobile devices, and you can connect that right to a sale and show a conversion, measurable results that they can quantify. It is empowering for each and every person in our company, and they love, and it's because we care about our customers. We want to make sure that they have success. The more success that we can share.
But James, really, that learning curve not only had to be embraced on that level, but also from the advertising agencies, because I mean, they had to do the same thing to move into this digital age, and they also know the power of that, combining radio with this or TV with this, and it's been remarkable all the way through from the local salespeople to the advertising agencies, and the companies demand this now.
Companies do measured results.
Yeah. How long does it take?
I'm going to trust you. Sorry.
Yeah. How long does it take for you to get a program up and going, or an ad up and going?
There's so many from different deployments. There's such different timelines. Are we creating the content? We have creative writers, we have producers, and it really is uniquely timed for the specific need of that client. It could be 4 days, it could be 3 months. If I'm building websites, am I doing an e-commerce website that generates revenue for that customer? And there's a tremendous amount of hours involved in for our programmers. Great thing about our company is our Mississippi connections. Our talent is here and in the United States, and I have a programmer in Arizona, but yet I have my programmer and creative team in Gulfport and Jackson and Oxford. So, you know,
so they don't have to ask a question to Guatemala or Pakistan. You can take care of that in Mississippi.
Well, I often use Pakistan, being from London, and it's, you know, I experienced that in my past. So in my former company, I was on phone calls to Mexico and having that language barrier issue. And so that's a very much unique selling position for us to be Mississippi focused and employed in this state.
Well, it's also good for the company, too, whether it's the one point of contact at the agency or at the marketing person at that particular business, to have one contact for TV, for radio, and also for digital. And it is a tremendous asset. And I know, because I was talking to Steve and Kim for a long time before this happened, just some bits and pieces, and it took forever to put this thing together, but man, they wanted to make sure they did this the right way and got the right people. And I think talking to you that the wait was worth it. They got the right person. James, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Anytime you want to come on, just let us know. I'll let you talk just because of the accent.
Thank you, sir. Kind words, and I appreciate it. Thank you to all the Mississippi.
You got it.
Appreciate y'all.
And I like the magnolia behind you, sir. It looks good. We